the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello everyone, my name is Ronak and you're watching VectoArt. So today we are going to learn how to create a resume design in Microsoft Word. So without any further ado, let's get started. And oh, before I forget, I did check my stats the other day and 3% of you watching are subscribed and 97% of you aren't. So if you're watching and enjoying this video, then a sub to this channel would be great. So let's get straight into the video now. So let us start by creating a new project. So let's click on the blank document, and next we will go to the layout and set the margin to narrow. So let's click on the layout and click on margin and click narrow. Now let's go to insert and select the text box and click on draw text box. Now drag and drop the text box onto the page and then type in the text. So let's go select the text and go to home and change the font to agency FB or any desired font that you want, and increase the font size. And I'm giving a couple of spaces here between the letters so that it has a better look. Now select this text box and just right click properties so that we can remove the borders. So just go to fill and select no fill, and under the line select no line. Now reposition this text box that we have, and now go to shape and select rectangle and draw a rectangle on the page. Now let's again go back to the properties panel for that rectangle. Right click, format shape, and go to the fill and select picture and browse the picture for that rectangle. Okay, now select an image and there you go. We will also need to remove the line that we have, the border line for that image. So let's minimize the fill and change the line to no line. Now let's position this image and also the text. Now next we'll go to insert and add another text box below the name, which will show the job title. So this resume is for a UX designer. I am adding the spaces between the text here, again following the same format, increasing the font size and the spacing between the letters. Okay, also we'll have to do the same process here. We'll have to go to properties and remove the fill and the line color. Okay, there you go. Now let's add some lines. So let's go to insert and shape and select the line tool and draw a line. Okay, so let's change the color of the line as well. Let's go to design, okay, format, and change the line color to black. Okay, let's make a copy of that text that we have there, and before that let's add one more line next to the vertical line. This one will be a horizontal line, and let's change the color to black. And now let's copy the text box and paste it below it. Okay, so let's change the text. So we have the phone title, and let's copy it once again and paste it below it, and this will be the email. Now we'll have to paste the text box once again so that we display the phone number and email details. Let's bold the two titles, and now let's add one more text box below it, and this won't be bold, and we'll have to add the phone number and the email address. Okay, next. Okay, let's remove the spacing between the lines. So let's select the text and click on remove space after the paragraph. So we'll just extend the line that we have, the vertical line, and now let's go to insert and draw a shape, a rectangle. Small visual elements on the page so that the resume looks more modern and simple. So let's place this parallel to the image that we have and the line, and also let's make a copy of the line that we have. Sorry, we'll have to make the copy of the line and place it next to each other. Now let's reduce the size of the line, and let's add one more small element, a location pin, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so let's go to the properties of that shape and fill it with a picture. So let's click on insert and select the icon. I usually download my icons from icons8.com. You can simply go to the website, log in, and download icons for free. They also do have a desktop app for that. You can go to the website and check it out. So I'll have to resize the image that we have. Okay, and next also let's remove the line, border line that we have. For that you'll have to go to the properties and simply go to the line and change it to no line. Let's reduce the size of the rectangle that we have, and next we should be adding the address information here. So let's make a copy of the text box that we have and fill it with the address. Now once we are done with the address, we will be moving on to the skills, the profile, summary, and also the experience. There are a lot of elements to be added. Before that, I think we'll have to change the font for all the text except the name, the title. So let's add one line below and go to the format and change its height. Okay, now let's make a copy of the text box again, and this time we'll be adding the skills. Let's increase the font size and add the spacing like we did earlier, and let's position it. And next we'll make a copy of it again, and this time it will be the profile details. Okay, so looks good. Now let's increase the size and add the sub text for the skills section, and that will be the professional details. So let's increase the text box and decrease the height of the subtext. Also let's add the spacing between them. Okay, now let's drag that text box, increase its size, and let's add the skills one by one. Before that, let's decrease the size and the font weight, and now let's add the other skills. So one by one let's add the skills. It can be any skills that a UX designer can possess. These are just the general skill set that the UX designer has. These are the common skill sets. Okay, now I'll select all of them, and let's change the font. Like I said earlier, we'll have to change the font too. Here I am using railway font, and I'll decrease the font size, and I'll do the same for all the fonts that I have except the name. Okay, and that's going good, and okay. So like I said, we are changing all the font size and the font except the name. So the name remains the same. And now let's select the skills and convert them into bullet points, and then we'll add a spacing between the lines. So these options are available under the paragraph section. Let's increase the image and reposition some of the elements. Because I felt that the yellow rectangle was too much skewed and it needed to be a bit bigger. Now let's copy the text box again, and this time let's fill it with some placeholder text. Okay, and that's it. Now after let's clear out some of the text. I don't want the profile summary to be this big, but it's up to you. You can add the actual summary that you have for your profile, but here I am just going to cap it and delete some of the junk text here. Okay, so next I will move on to the experience section. So I'll just copy the title and the text box below it and paste it and move it below the profile section, and I will add the I will update the name to experience here, and as usual I will be adding spaces between the letters. Now let's add the details like the company name, the job title, and the years of experience in that particular job. We will need to highlight the job title and the years of experience and not the company name. Yeah. You can always tweak some of the things here and there. You can maybe you can highlight the um, company name with a slight bold letters, not a full strong bold letter, maybe a semi bold format. And now, or maybe some different color maybe. Now let's add some bullet points here. So I'll just copy some of the text, placeholder text, and place it below and convert them to bullet points under the paragraph, or maybe from the quick menu that we get when you select the text. I will copy and paste it a couple of times. I don't think I have a lot of space here, but still I'll paste it thrice and try to reduce the content that I have. But in a real time scenario, your content may be bigger, so your resume may be more than 2 pages, but here I just want it to be 2 pages, so I'm just reducing the content that I have. Okay, so that's done. I'll just increase the size of the line that I have, the parallel line that I have, and next I will move to the interests section, and I'll just make a copy of the skills and paste it here. Before that, let's add the education details. And the degree and the year of passing details. Let's add spacing between the letters like we did earlier. We now next we'll have to have the university details, and let's decrease the font size and remove the spacing between the lines. Okay, okay, that's done. And we'll have to add the major details and the um, and the subject details. Yes. um, Once that is done, let's copy it and paste one more education details below that, because that's the standard to have two details. Okay, this one's going to be the bachelor degree. The university name remains the same, and let's move on to the next page. Okay, so you can add a new page. I have added the page first hand, like before editing all these details onto the page. I have hit on the enter key and added 2 pages, and then I have started editing the content on the first page. So I have just copied the content, all the content from the first page, and now I have pasted it onto the second, and I am removing some of the elements like the image and decreasing the sizes of the lines and getting rid of the yellow rectangles and the location pin and phone number and the address details, because they are not needed on the second page because they already exist on the first. So get rid of them, and let's move all the content that I have below. Also we will get rid of the profile details, and rest of the content moves up. Okay, select all the content that we have and move it up. And now let's select all the content along with the experience. Before that, let's move the line to the desired position, and then let's move the sales guide and the education details and experience. Once we have all this in place, let's start editing the details. We'll be continuing the experience details, so we'll have to label it accordingly. So here I am typing the continued label next to the experience, and this will not be bold, and let's reduce the font size. We don't want to highlight it that much, but we want it to be there. Okay, let's get rid of some of the experience details. Also the skills section we'll have to remove, and we'll have to change it to awards, and we'll have to mention the year the award was received, and uh, the name or the title of the award. We have to get rid of this text, remove the spacing between the lines, and type in the name of the award. Okay, I still see that we have some amount of spacing between the lines, so we'll try to remove that as well, so that it's uniform with the experience details. So we're done adding the awards. We'll resize the text box, and make a copy of it and paste it, and place it below the award section. Okay, and this will be the technical skills. Also we could have added the professional and the technical skills on the same page, one after the other, so that we could but I just thought to have a different design approach and add the skills, technical skills, on the second page. And now we are going to add the technical skills using bullet points. We will have to change the indentation to the left, because it has automatically taken a tab, and it has added a space between the main title and the subtitle. So once we are done doing this, we'll have to select all that and remove the indentation, and also have a line spacing of 1.5. I also see that we have very less space between below the experience and the skills. to add the other content, so I might have to remove some of the content from this. And also decrease the or increase the size of the line. So here I am trying to decrease the size of the experience section so that I can add the reference section later on. It still feels like it has taken a lot of space, but let's see, finally when we do the final changes, let's tweak this things. So the final section, here we have the interests, so let's copy and paste the skills section and change the text in it. Also we'll be adding the space between the letters like we did before, and here we have the hobbies, and let's add some hobbies here. Let's clear off the skills that were before, and we'll add some hobbies. Yes, so you see that we have a very less space below, so I'm going to remove some of the content from the experience section, keep it short and simple, and decrease the size. And also I will have to remove the line spacing like I said earlier, because it was taking a lot of space, and decrease the font size. And let's move the skills section a bit up, and there you go, we have enough space now. Let's move the interest section up, and we have some more space to add some more hobbies. Okay, so that's done. Now let's add the final section, that is the reference section. So let's copy the interest text box and place it on the right, change the text to references. We'll have to paste the text box again because this is just the title, and we'll have to paste two to three sections of references. So let's remove this and just keep it as a title, copy and paste the interest section again, and this time we'll be adding references. So let's get rid of the bullet points, and now let's add the references. Of course these are the dummy references, but you can have your references here, and the company name, the reference is working, and the phone number and the email. We will have to highlight the reference name with bold letters, and the initials for phone number and email also with bold. We'll have to remove the spacing between the letters, sorry, the lines, and change the reference name to bold and the initials for phone number and email. Okay, so we have our first reference, and we'll have to make copies of it and paste it thrice and place it next to each other. some final touches. We'll have to decrease the line spacing, so we'll have to go to the line spacing options and change the line spacing to 1, and do the same for the rest of the reference copies. Now there's only one thing left, and that is to export this resume, and also save this document. So let's go to file, and click on export, and export it as a PDF. Give it a name and save it in your desired location. I'm just naming it with the name of the resume. Okay, and I'm also saving this document Word file in the same path. Okay, so there you go guys, our PDF is ready, and here you can see this beautiful resume that we created together. Hope you all liked watching this video.